So I've been asked by a couple of people, does the weight loss jab curb your cravings? Yes, it does. It curbs them in the way that you don't feel hungry at all, and you don't snack. And the biggest thing is you do not feel hungry. It's easy to say this if you haven't experienced it before, like with weight loss clubs. You're restricted on what foods you can eat, and that makes you want the foods you can't have even more. So you eat far less of a meal than you would without the jabs. And and I found right from day one, even on the 2.5 milligrams, I injected on the Sunday. Monday, I had to actually tell myself to have, I had 2 Weetabix for breakfast. And in the very first week, or I think it might have been 3 weeks, I actually wrote a log of everything I was eating. So literally everything that went between the lips, I wrote it down so that I would have a log, because I didn't think it was going to work as well as it did. And I thought if I wrote down everything I was consuming, then I would have something to go back on and see where I'm going wrong. So yeah, I had 2 Weetabix for breakfast, didn't have lunch, wasn't hungry at all during the day. I'd already got my shopping from before, so I had a cake, I had biscuits, and I did not want any. And for me, I love cake and I love biscuits, which is why I ended up being a fat person in the first place. Um, and it really is that crazy that you do not want it. And even if you've got it in front of you, you can actually say, I'm not hungry. So yeah, it literally stops you wanting food. You don't want it, you don't need it, and you literally feel like you have already eaten. You don't need it, you're full up without actually eating anything. And I did make sure at tea time that I had a small meal, and then I had nothing for the rest of the day. I didn't need biscuit before I went to bed. Literally a cup of tea with no biscuits. It's a bit of a shock to the system when you naturally make a cup of tea and have a biscuit with it. And now you just don't want to have them. So yes, it curbs hunger. You just do not feel hungry. You don't feel like you're missing out on anything. It is just such a nice feeling. And you do sit back and think, well, this must be how thin people are that don't eat biscuits and cakes and what have you, to actually not want to do it. And in the very first week, I actually dropped 0.5 stone in the first week. And I know people say it's fluid and what have you, but I don't know. I lost 0.5 stone in the first week. And talking of fluid, you really do need to make sure that you drink enough water. I don't like water, so I have lemon squash really weak. And I do notice that you get a dry mouth, and you really do need to keep up the fluid intake if you're not eating regular meals. And I can't sit here and say you have to eat 3 times a day, because I actually don't. I can do breakfast and then I don't need anything until tea time. And I even have a McDonald's. We went to McDonald's the other day, and my grandson has a Happy Meal and I have a Happy Meal too. And sometimes it's actually hard to finish a Happy Meal. So I hope that sort of answers your questions on do you feel hungry? No, you don't.